I'm from the East Coast.
Okay, so I'm out of New York, so where all the other Jews live.
Okay, Dave got a check mark. Dave's got a check mark. Blue check mark by his name. That's amazing. Good job. Good job, buddy. Sympathy. Sympathy life. All right, let's share the live. Let me get some light in the issue. Welcome to the Big Old Cup of Joe. Waiting for my co-host Snake Eyes to come on in. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I hope you guys are doing well and remembering the true meaning, not just celebrating and drinking beers and barbecue. It's more than that, right? I'm also live streaming on YouTube as well. So, War Eagle, welcome in, sir. How are you? Miss your face. Oh, what a great time we had in Missouri. I'm going to get some more coffee, and I'm waiting for my co-host as well. Ooh. I got to do something with that. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome in. So I've got like one screen that's inverted, which I'm used to. See how my shit's backwards. But then YouTube does it to where it's like as you see me rather. That's a little different, man. Kind of hard to get used to. You can't help but miss this first. You're right. Absolutely right. I know how you military types like an agenda. So we're going to talk a little bit about weekend food talk on this episode. The prices of, oh my Lord, meat. Get out of here. We went with the ribs. Let's think about like 3 or 5 random facts from each guest once we get guests up in the boxes. Okay. Talk a little bit about what's going on in Hollywood and stuff like that, huh? Uh-oh, is that my co-host? Boy, it's a good thing. You about got fired, son.
Yep.
Maybe a little UAP, UFO talk later on. What about that Tic Tac video, man? That was scary shit by the Navy pilots. I kind of trust those guys, right? Oh, Lord, Snake Eyes. Yeah, Snake Eyes is my co-host. Let's see here. Salty Dog. Let's get Salty up in this mug. Bottles thrown at the Border Patrol. What? We'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to go with bad commercials on the news, Fox News and Newsmax. Freaking My Pillow guys getting on my nerves. And then the UN helmet hoax. So that's the agenda. Unless Snake Eyes has got more topics like he was assigned. What do you got, brother?
MREs, deep back versus mess halls.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
And of course, submerged, unidentified objects.
Yes. Yes, we're going to get into it today, man. I've got YouTube live streaming as well. So we'll take some comments from the chat. You just keep an eye on that chat for me. I got eat up on that trip, man, right there below my ass cheek. I got bug bites. So I'm not playing with myself.
War Eagle.
Good morning, 420 Chief. Okay, we can start now. 420 Chiefs here. Rich is in the house. Hi, Sil. Miss your face. What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Special team, special plays, special players.
Well, there's a reason
Good
why
excuse
we
to
were
play
all
with
on the
yourself.
short yellow
That's
bus.
true. That is true. I try not to do that too much, especially not on cam. Wife doesn't like it. All right. Welcome to the Big Old Cup of Joe podcast, where we are unscripted, raw, freeform thought. Line. Right. Okay. So unscripted and raw, freeform thought, provoking topics, discussion about American values and community. Let's start off with a weekend food talk. It's Memorial Day, man. We're going to eat some big old things of meat and drink some beer. And we're going to just have, and remember, always remember the true meaning of Memorial Day. Vets, try not to get too upset with the general public that doesn't know the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. You know, water off a duck's back, okay? Memorial Day is for the fallen who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Veterans Day are for those of us who still live with all that crap in our heads. Joseph Gonzalez, what shorts are you wearing? Cargos, I guess.
Khakis.
Man purses is what they call it, you know? Yeah.
That is not a man purse, sir. Those are.
You can store all kinds of shit up in these things, man.
Yeah, I get shit lost in my cargo shorts all the time.
Yeah. Boxes are open, guys. If you want to come on in, this is a give and take. This is, we value your comments and we play off of them, right, Snake?
Yep.
All right, Snake, how's your weekend going so far, buddy?
So far, can't complain too much except for the normal.
Whoa, nobody wants to see that, brother. Whoo.
You know, man, women find me sexy, all right?
Which part?
That's still up for judgment, I guess.
All right. So, Salty, how are you, sir? Welcome.
Greetings, compatriots.
Greetings.
Salute you.
How's your weekend going, buddy?
Going good, man. I'm just been really, the weather's been nice, so that's been awesome, although tomorrow they're saying it's going to rain actually on Memorial Day, so I'm going to get out to my dad's, to the Veterans Cemetery here in Jersey. I'm going to get out there today and get a little bit of peace and tranquility of when you see thousands of flags blowing in the wind. It'll have have an impact on you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It'll impact you.
What branch
Yeah.
was he in, sir?
My dad was Army, 31 years.
Hooah!
And yeah, I grew up Army brat, man. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
son,
my
my
dad-
oldest son's a 15 Tango, 860 mechanic in the Army. So
My dad went in WW2 as a young kid. He was in Battle of the Bulge, and he was wounded.
Purple Heart.
I don't know where he got his. I know he's got 2 Purple Hearts, 2 Bronze Stars. I don't know where he got them.
Whoa, props.
But he was in Korea, and then he did 3 combat tours in Vietnam. So he did all 3, had 3 CIBs, which are pretty hard to come by in the Army, to get 3 of them, combat infantry badges. And he was a hero, man. He was a hero who
Absolutely.
who suffered in silence, as a lot of back in World War II and back in those days. What do they call it? Shell shock back in the day.
Oh yeah.
World War II. I don't think they even knew what PTSD was, but that was their form of what it was.
Right.
Yeah. So a lot of our, but that generation is pretty incredible. I've seen some of these World War II veterans that are still alive. They're interviewing them here on some of these channels today, and man, they're sharp. They're humble. They're really amazing to see. People in their 90s, man. You know what I mean? And
They got the craziest of stories too.
they could have some stories, and they don't even tell them.
Was he still alive when you joined the Navy, brother?
My dad?
Yeah. Who?
Oh,
you
yeah.
doing?
Yeah. My dad passed in 2010.
Okay.
He was 86.
And he was
that
the Army
prompted our
veteran,
move-
right? With the
that
2
prompted
Purple
our
Hearts.
move from Arizona to move here to New Jersey that I left in 1977. Thought
He's
I'd
up
never
in
come back
Jersey.
here. Huh?
Up in Jersey.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
So-
walking here.
Yeah. But I adopted pretty quick. Your voice automatically takes right on the Jersey talk, even after being gone for 40 years, somehow it's there. But yeah, so we were only going to come back here 2 years, but here we are, 14 years later. And who knows what's going to happen. We've been taking care of Laura's mom here for a long time now, several years.
Yeah.
So it kind of pinned us down here. You know
That's
what
a
I mean?
hospice type situation for 2 years now, you said?
She'll be coming up on 3. When would she have 3? September would be 3 years, man.
Oh my. Okay, so I heard you talking about some of the faith issues that you had and everything like that. Things that, by taking care of her, things that you've learned that really makes, especially your wife being there. And unfortunately, once she passes and everything, you can look back on that and be like, I was there, I did that. You can feel good about that and everything, and then know that she's going to be in a better place, right?
Oh yeah. It's a matter of valuing life, in whatever. She's not at a pull the plug kind of mode. She's got dementia, severe dementia. She doesn't really know what's going on or talk or, she talks about things that don't make any sense, but,
Sure.
She has no understanding.
I do that too from time to time, though. So
Yeah. I'm thinking, she's kind of part of the norm.
yeah.
I told Laura the other day, I said, I think it's a blessing that your mom's had dementia through all this pandemic stuff and all of this stuff. She never even knew what the hell was going on. And we didn't allow, her to go the nursing home route here, especially in New Jersey, and decided to take it. I mean, obviously we thought it was going to be a lot more short term than what it ended up turning out to be in the hospice situation, taking on a hospital bed and everything that comes along with it. But now it's just become a part of our life. You adapt and you function and you, but if you can think about, and I think about my mother-in-law, she's laid in that bed, man, except for being turned and being changed,
Sure.
that type of thing, almost
Yeah,
3
no bed
years,
sores.
man. Yeah, we got the bed sores for sure. Dealt with a lot of those, but still dealing with one. But
Yeah.
those are the things that end up kind of getting people in the end. As you get that sepsis and you get infection, and
Sure.
but here's Laura. My wife Laura. I have to give her. I've never seen her rise to and we've been married for 40 years. But to stand up and to do what she's done every single day.
Absolutely. Props to her.
Pretty amazing, she's not a spring chicken either. She's going to be turning 66 here in August, so we're not
Bless her heart.
young people running around here doing that, but still. So I guess the blessings are that
God only gives us what we can handle, though. You know what I mean? And everything is meant to be. Obviously, it's a lot better in your care. I can tell. You and your wife's care. I can tell that there's a lot of love there and everything. So blessings, and we'll pray for her absolutely, and you both, and you two both. Okay.
Yeah, she's amazing, man. I've never seen somebody have a disposition that is in that situation of such calm peace, and I'm thinking, man, I got to get me some of this dementia, man, because if I can do that,
this is the military dark humor we were discussing earlier there.
Just to forget it all. You know what I'm saying?
It makes me think of that movie where the mother had dementia and she was in the home and everything, and the very successful businessman comes in and he's like, you know what? I've had a perfect life. And, I've got money, I've got cars, I've got women, I've got all these things, and here you are, you've been believing in God for how long? All your life. And here you are, you've got dementia, and you just sitting here eating chicken and not knowing that you just had chicken like one day ago and chicken's your favorite or whatever. And then she just busts out and says, sometimes the devil will put you in a cage and leave the door wide open and get you all nice and comfortable. And you won't know it until it's too late and the door slams shut that he's got you. And that was like, I thought you had dementia. You just said something just totally perfect there. You know what I mean? Have you seen that movie? Let's do a movie review on that one coming up next. Write that down, Snake Eyes. I'm going to get my coffee. I'll be right back.
So what's been happening there, Snake Eyes? What's doing, brother?
Dealing with the VA, normal bull crap, all that wonderful stuff. Baby sister just graduated high school this weekend.
Who graduated?
My baby sister.
Nice. Congratulations to her.
And what movie were we going to be reviewing?
Let's review. What was the name of that one? Salty?
Which movie?
Dean Cain is in it. The guy who played Superman. Was it Lois and Clark? He was the.
Somebody help in the panel, maybe.
Yeah. Dean Cain was in it. If you go to Dean Cain, let's do that right now. Let me go to Dean Cain movies. I'll get this name of this movie.
That man's been on so many freaking
Oh, I know.
movie, TV shows over the years.
He's been on Fox News too.
Has he now?
Oh yeah.
As what, a correspondent, or?
He's on our side, if you will. Movies and shows. Let's see. God's Not Dead. That was the name of the movie. God's Not Dead.
Oh, right.
Yes, excellent movie. Guys, do your homework. We'll talk about that either on Wednesday or next time. So what did you make food-wise for Memorial Day weekend, Salty?
I'm going to go kind of traditional burgers, franks, and chicken.
Okay.
I kind of have to do softer food and stuff for my digestion and things like that.
I have IBS myself. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I'll end up with the barbecue chicken and that type of thing. But yeah,
Awesome.
so we'll just do a quiet little thing here. You know, I got Justin here, my son and his wife, and my 2 grandkids.
Very
Which, by the
successful
way-
son, Justin, by the way.
Hey, Justin's doing very well too. He's making a comeback, let's say.
How many followers he got on TikTok?
Well, he's got a couple accounts. I know over 100,000 on one, maybe 50, 60,000 on another.
420
Yeah,
Chief, you got to catch up to him, buddy.
Yeah, I'm never gonna do that. He tries to kind of show me some things, you know, and I pick up what I can, but I'm just not all in. You know what I mean with TikTok. But I'm gonna start doing some more lives and you know, doing some things, you know, because
You and I talked a
not,
little
man?
bit yesterday, and we talked about 420 Chief's book, Strains for Pains.
yeah, I
And,
gotta get that book.
Yeah, you should get with 420 Chief. He is in the comments right there. He's a good one to talk to about that kind of stuff. And I know you kind of delve a little bit, you know, whatever. But
Yeah,
all
let
right,
me reach out and friend. I don't know if we're already hooked up. I've seen him on Sills Friday nights.
absolutely.
And
I'm sure he can hear us, and he'll if he's not already added you, then you'd be a good one to interview.
he's the dude with the helmet and stuff, right?
No.
Does he come? No.
He's got a
He doesn't
beard.
come
He
on
usually wears the dark glasses.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
doesn't
his
come
own
on with-
studio. Just like you got Salty and Son. His is like 420 Chief and Bub. Bub is his son. Great kid too. Very cool kid. The price of food. I mean, my wife went to the store to buy some meat for Memorial Day weekend cookout, right? Well, we got a smoker recently. So that was really, really cool. A brisket.
Do you remember the Steel Beach picnics, man?
Oh, yeah.
Those were the days, bro.
I'm telling you.
Steel Beach picnic on an aircraft carrier, you know, out in the Indian Ocean, is pretty powerful.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
skipped
they-
a whole Christmas. I skipped a whole winter time because I was on 0 latitude. So it was hot.
Yeah.
I skipped a whole season. It was crazy. I'll go back to my page here. There we go.
We did it up. Did you guys ever have a beer day while
Yeah.
you were out at sea?
Yeah, when you're out there for so long, they got to give you a beer day, but it's
Yeah,
non-alcoholic, right?
I think it's 60 days.
It was like non-alcoholic in my day. I don't know about yours.
Yeah. We did 110 in the IO. We didn't set the record, but we did 110.
30 days, they
without
said in the
alcohol.
chat. Yeah,
And,
420
so they
Chief.
had beer day on the carrier. And here's the deal. Everybody gets 2 tickets. Like, that's really going to work real good on an aircraft carrier with sailors who've been out to sea for over 2 months. Yeah, we got 2 tickets. You want to know what tickets we're going for, man. Think that one up in your mind, okay? The people who didn't drink had a nice little payday, man.
That's
I
right.
know some tickets were going for 100 bones.
Oh, yeah.
For one beer, right?
Absolutely.
Just so someone can have more than their 2. I didn't drink either. I was actually working
Happens all the time, man.
I was working in special programs at the time, actually working with drug and alcohol and that type of thing. But but it was amazing to see the ingenuity of these squids, what they could come up with, man. You know, to get those beers is
Yeah,
pretty
absolutely.
amazing.
So,
Beer day.
I mean, you got like burgers and dogs. You're probably not paying a whole lot. Snake Eyes, did you go shopping for any kind of meat and find out the prices of this stuff yet, or no?
I have not been shopping out for anything for this weekend, but I can tell you from the days that I do go, looking at different prices when I go to Walmart and stuff like that. Bad. It's expensive as shit.
It's
You know,
bad.
when I
My
was staying
wife-
up in Campbell last year, and for the gap time period that I was living up there, I can tell you right now, it was cheaper to buy your steak pork chop at the commissary on
Oh, yeah.
Campbell than to go out of post and buy the food out there.
Yeah, for
You know, but then
military,
again,
that's an excellent
when you look at
option.
everything realistically,
sure.
is the fact of the matter of you don't pay taxes when you go to the commissary versus the taxes and the BS that you would have to charge outside post. Like a dozen of eggs at the commissary was like $2. You go to Walmart on post, it's close to $5.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of weird bull crap when it comes to that. And then when I shipped out overseas for 9 months, towards the end of my contract, it's like living in Poland for 6 months. Everything over there is cheap too, considering because the American dollar is strong as hell in Poland. Then going to Estonia for the last 3 months, it's like, okay, this is more moderate, you know, close enough to what we pay back stateside. Get back home, and a freaking carton of eggs is like close to $15. I'm like, holy shit, dude.
A lot of people are raising their own
chicken.
chickens. I've got brown eggs from like 2 or 3 neighbors, you know. They got too many, so they're like giving them out to friends and family and stuff because they've got too many. It's crazy. That's one of the things that I was talking about though. My wife went to the store. She was going to get a prime rib roast, 8 pounds. Guess how much?
$30.
$60.
That close enough.
$60. So then she looked at the brisket, a 10-pound brisket. How much do you think that would cost nowadays?
Well, nowadays you're probably looking at $50-$60.
$80.
Yeah, fuck that.
So then they got these little baby briskets, right? Little 2-pound. So maybe we'll get a couple of the little ones. Guess how much?
$75.
Well, no, not that much. A little baby brisket, $20 to $25 a piece. We went with the ribs. We had ribs last night, and just 2 racks of ribs. It was so amazing in a smoker. I love my smoker, man. My wife loves the smoker. It's got Wi-Fi. So you plug that thermometer thing in there, you know, and everything, and you can look at your cell phone and see what the temperature is and how much longer it's got to cook and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah. There's a few little hang-ups with it, but so be thinking of your 3 to 5 random facts, just random stuff that goes to your head, right? Upcoming in future episodes of Big Old Cup of Joe, Snake Eyes and I have talked about it. We're going to do like a movie review, a product review, like every episode. So 3 to 5 random facts from each. And then on the Hollywood side now, the difference between left and right. Okay. You get this new stuff coming out about P. Diddy. He beat up his ex-girlfriend. They got it on film. Is he sorry, or is he sorry he got caught?
Let's be honest. Anybody that's been with money and power for as long as he has, it's more like he's sorry that he's caught.
And that's not all that's going on with him either, man. I mean, I was watching Bieber, something on Bieber, who was under the umbrella of like P. Diddy, and he tried to tell us in his music, and you go back and you listen. Now, I don't personally listen to Justin Bieber, but my daughter did, and she was infatuated and had posters all over the wall and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I've heard the music. I don't even know if I've heard an entire song, but he's got some good stuff, and he's turned to God recently. So he's got some.
I believe that when I see that.
Well, no, he's had some rough times. I mean, this kid was on YouTube, you know, and his mom had him on YouTube, and he was singing and playing guitar and everything. That's how Justin Bieber started. And then Hollywood got a hold of him, chewed him up, spat him out. And now he's getting into the religion and has put out some music with disclosures in his lyrics. Yes, it's truly sad. Yeah, So, I mean, that's something to now. Let's go to the other side of the fence of Hollywood. You know Gary Sinise.
Yes, Gary Sinise, very big on helping us veterans.
For those of you who don't
and
know,
our
that's
families.
Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
What do you got
I
on
don't know
him,
if-
Snake
I
Eyes?
don't know if you guys have ever been to a Bubba Gump's restaurant. You haven't?
Mm.
There's only a handful out there. That they built one in Charleston, South Carolina, but they also had one in Hawaii. When I was out there on a trip, I went to a Bubba Gump's, and they got all this shrimp stuff, and of course the margaritas, okay, but you got all the Bubba, he was talking about all these shrimps he wanted to do, in the movie and stuff, and then they had the original. I don't even know if I still have the shirt, man, but I bought it there. It's the shirt that Lieutenant Dan wore in the movie.
Very cool.
But if you ever get a chance, and I don't know if anybody's got any in your area, look it up maybe.
I do.
But these,
I have one here.
but
in Daytona.
do you? And they do trivia, man. So when you walk in, everything is trivia driven. Okay, so the waitress will come up, they'll ask you questions about the movie, whatever, and you can earn free desserts and kind of all kinds of stuff there. So it's pretty cool. Sorry to take you off topic there, but
No, you're
food
good.
was part of the topic, right?
Yeah, Gary Sinise. So tell us a little bit about Gary Sinise there, Snake Eyes.
Well, after a lot of his movies, especially in the positions that he was put in certain movies where he was either A, law enforcement, B, a military service member, he's been very avid into helping veterans and helping Gold Star families, whether it's by getting them stuff that they need or sending the kids on trips to Disney and stuff like that.
Right.
And I
420,
think
you got something on
420
Gary
had
Sinise?
something to say on it.
I do actually. Gary Sinise came to Hawaii. I think it was Hawaii. I was there for a period of time or somewhere. But anyways, that's not even a cool fact. Gary Sinise actually went through the chief initiation process with the Navy and is very supportive of the chief's mess. Yeah,
Very
and the
cool.
military in general. Oh,
I'm trying to keep up with chat, guys. I've got I can read one line at a time. I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah. There's way too many coming in for me to carry.
Yeah, I'll just say hello to everyone. Thank you for coming in. Welcome to the Big Old Cup of Joe. So what do you think about that? Like Gary Sinise versus like say P. Diddy. You got the left and the right. I mean, I can't think of. Can you
Well,
think
let's
of
be 100%
anybody that
honest.
who else is a good?
There's
Who's the guy
A
that
lot of-
plays in the Marvel movie where he's got the
Which one?
visor that comes down? Star Killer or whatever.
Star-Lord?
Star-Lord, yeah, the guy that plays Star-Lord.
Yeah, that would be, what's his freaking name?
Hang on, I'll look it up.
Chris Pratt. Thank you, people
Chris
down
Pratt,
there
thank you. Yes.
in the
No.
chat. Yes, Chris Pratt. Well, with
When
Chris
he-
Pratt, he's
Go ahead.
more along the line of children with illnesses,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
It's not towards veterans and their families or nothing like that, but it's still an admirable thing. Him, Chris Evans, Johnny Depp, they are seen taking time out of their hands, whether it's clout chasing or not. They do take time out of their own schedules to go to these hospitals to see these children.
Yeah.
But to me, it shows no light to what Gary Sinise is doing for Gold families and veteran families. So it's like, yes, they're doing something,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing is as big as the good,
I'm talking more like good versus evil here kind of thing, basically.
Well, if you,
It's
like
so
Sean
black
Sorry
and
said,
white, is my
like-
point.
like Sean's saying in the group chat, another good person would be Kevin Sorbo, who played
Yes.
Hercules in the 90s.
Yep.
He's very advocate and very Christian values around the kind of guy.
And his son is on TikTok as well.
Yes, I've seen the videos that his son posts out. They're funny.
Pretty cool stuff. I mean, just left and right. I mean, just good people. And then the left, what do we got on the left? We got like P. Diddy.
I think Wahlberg too.
Mark
too
Wahlberg is
pretty
doing
yeah.
good things. Absolutely. Kevin Sorbo,
Mark
Kirk
Wahlberg
Cameron.
and his brothers are Catholic.
Yeah. Catholic family. Yep.
And
They've got that
person that's been, kicked out of Hollywood for the most part, even though he's a great actor, is Tim Allen, who's very conservative leaning and stuff like that. He can't even get a gig, even though he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Just because of his belief system.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he played a conservative, did he not? In his show? Am I thinking of the same guy? What show was he in with? But yeah, he played a conservative supporter, right? And
Yes.
loved Reagan, quoted a lot of Reagan stuff.
Yeah, the one that came after Tim the Toolman Taylor.
A very conservative person to start off with.
Yeah. Now, if we go to the left, though, have you seen the video?
Yes, Roseanne. Got to do a mention on Roseanne, no doubt, Sean.
Absolutely. She was like,
Definitely.
man, I used to be a Democrat, but they went so far left. They've just gone crazy. And man,
Yeah,
just
Kid
the
Rock.
attacks that just came from all corners of the
Music a big influence too. Kid Rock and Jason Aldean, a lot of these people standing up and kind of breaking records too, and sales and whatever, even though they try to silence them.
Yes. Now, I always had a theory like if the entire nation is your audience, okay, and that's who pays you, is either an actor or a musician or whatever, why would you jump up on a table and pick a side? You know what I mean? You just cut your audience in half. If we truly are 50-50 in America, left and right, why would you do something like that? It really has to mean something to you, whether it be fighting for God's word or fighting for political values and grassroots, as you would say, Salty, right? Down home values and stuff like that. I can get that.
A stab out of that through the rhetoric of people who lean towards one side and saying about leaning towards one side, but not completely supporting that side. People like Adam Calhoun, people like John McDonald, and stuff like that. They are rapping about things that are happening in this country that is dismantling and separating us. But the only people hearing it is people towards one side.
Yeah.
The message is not just for one side; it's for everybody to finally open their eyes and stuff like that.
What about The Rock and Oprah?
Dwayne Johnson has been one of those flip-flop kind of guys.
He had to apologize because he came out on WWE. They introduced him and the crowd booed him.
Yeah, because he knew he was going to get hurt in the WWE if he didn't. Okay, because he was making his comeback during that time, re-entering the stage in the WWE. I think from a PR standpoint, he knew he made a big mistake there, because WWE fans traditionally, I don't believe, if it's anything like the UFC, because the UFC, you see Trump walk into a UFC event, forget about it.
But here's the crazy
just like
thing.
Just like the Bronx, man. Just like the Bronx, how they tried to attack that. You got AOC that's got 20 people in her little town hall event, while Trump has thousands. And the governor in New York comes on and tries to poo-poo the event for Trump and calls all of her constituents who attended the event clowns.
Yeah.
So if you think one way, they're just going to call it out. And I think 30,000 people showed up for the event, or 25,000, something like that.
Yeah.
But you see, also one of the big things is when bringing the WWE or even UFC into this is the fact that, one, now they're both owned by the same parent company. TKO owns UFC and the WWE. Vince McMahon has always been a long-standing friend with Donald Trump. So that kind of makes sense and why he would show up to events regardless of what he was doing there.
So
And Vincent McMahon also has that patrioticness where he made sure to send some of his guys to see us troops when we're out overseas, stuff like that, matches for morality kind of things. So it's like, it's one of those things, it's like, there's hidden things, but when people start realizing it and they start seeing it doesn't align with their belief system, they start attacking it for the reason of they don't see things, we see it, and they don't deserve our support no more, this, that, and the other.
Right.
Instead of seeing who the true enemy is.
yeah, and it's like, you know, when someone on the blue side comes over to the red side, the blue attacks them like enemy invader, you know what I mean? They tear them down, they cancel them is what what they call it nowadays and everything. I have not seen one issue of someone red turning to blue and getting attacked by red. Have you? It's like, okay, well, if that's your belief, have a good time and everything.
But you see, I think my favorite thing is I'm in the middle. I'm neither a Democrat, I'm neither a Republican.
Good for you.
But my views are very conservative because of how I was raised and the fact that my family left a tyrannical government when they were very young.
Cuba.
So, in that retrospect, it's like, okay, I'm in the middle here. I will vote for whoever I see is correct or will take this country to where it needs to be. But you have people, when my views come out, for example, I believe that there should be a wall built. When Trump was talking about building a wall during his first time going for the presidency. And of course, it's never the Mexicans, it's never anybody that you're opposing trying to tell you, oh no, that's not right, you're racist for that. It's normally the Karen in the white community goes, that's very racist of you. How come you want to keep Mexicans out? I'm like, the funny thing is, the person who saved my ass before I blew up my top was a Mexican American going, he's not racist. Look at what the hell his last name is. And I, as a Mexican American, am insulted by the illegals that jumped the fence here because his family came legally.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and a lot of what you're talking about, Snake Eyes, really, in all actuality, has nothing to do with R&D. Okay, whether you're, in fact, kind of where we're at today in terms of our politics, R&D is just a default that we just happen to fall into because it's just the way it is. Okay, but it's much bigger than that now, because once you wake up the silent majority and they start hearing America first and they start hearing things like this, okay, this is what causes the movement or the revolution, if you will, and which I believe is what's taking place now. I think it's just basic kind of things. It's common sense, like Trump talks about. This is a party of common sense, make America great again, safe. All of these key things has nothing to do with R&D. But we've got a lot of sorting out to do in the R&D process, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to start down that road hopefully after November if we get there. So let's see what happens.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. Exactly. I got to keep things rolling, guys. But we're going to segue into something very similar down on the border. I don't know if you saw the video, but there were some cartel members at the top of the wall trying to drop a ladder down, and they were met by Border Patrol, who kept trying to yank that ladder down, and the members kept like we're throwing water bottles down at them and everything, and assaulting the Border Patrol. Now my granddaughters call me Pop Pop. Hint, hint. I mean, one in the leg, maybe. What are these guys? They're just going to sit there and get pelted with water bottles. Are they allowed to? What are they going to do? Sue them? Your thoughts?
They're not American citizens, and you're trying to.
They're breaking the law.
which in itself,
And we're just protecting our country. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, it's a constitutional right for us to protect our borders. And if you're trying to invade our borders,
Has anybody been keeping up with?
in sight.
Has anybody been keeping up with
that's
the
our default.
Texas National Guard? Did they finally disperse?
They're not supposed to.
No, I mean, when they got sent down to Texas to protect the area from, Mexico-Texas border.
Eagles Pass.
Eagles
I think it was
Pass,
Eagles
thank you.
Pass, and they shut that thing down, man. I don't believe there's any activity going there. I'm sure there's movement. There's other.
They sent them all
entry points
home?
and things that. Well, they're not coming through there. I think they went from like thousands to like 3. Okay, that's the numbers.
The
Okay, so
National
the
Guard
Texas,
members are still protecting that area, though, is what I'm asking,
Yeah,
right?
but
They
you
didn't
see,
send them home.
yeah. There's
Texas Guard.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not just the Texas Guard. Florida has sent guardsmen over there to help the Texas Guard. Virginia has sent guardsmen to help the cause.
Absolutely.
Georgia has sent their
And-
guardsmen. South and North
and you're
Carolina
gonna-
have sent their guardsmen. And I believe.
And I
it's
think what you're going to see, Snake Eyes and Timber and everybody that's in the thread here. I think you're seeing a lot of these sheriffs out throughout the United States getting very involved and active. And these sheriffs, they can actually activate civilian population, okay, as deputies, okay.
Sure.
And I think you may see, as there's more talk about it now than there ever has been. But if things get bad, don't be surprised if you don't see some things happen in that area.
Sure. And for TikTok, I'm just asking questions. I'm not trying to throw false information out there. I'm just asking. And we're just rapping about it. So don't shut me down, okay? I think we should probably move on, though, in the topic discussions. I love watching the news. Okay, let's segue into that because we're talking a little bit about politics. Now, I have switched from Fox News to Newsmax, ever since Tucker Carlson left, right? But the commercials, my Lord, they're repetitive. They're over and over again. And it's like, oh, how many times can you listen to the My Pillow guy and not get annoyed? I love that guy. I saw him in person. I love what he's doing. He used to be a drug addict. I love his story, how he came out of poverty and all that. But man, that voice over and over and over again. Come on, man. Newsmax, Fox, clean up your game on the commercials. What say you?
Well, it's putting money in their pockets because it's advertisement dollars, and Lindell will spend it. He's the biggest advertiser, has been for many, many years. So they're because everybody else has shut Lindell down, so he's got very few places to go. In all actuality, he's been, you got to remember, the government actually confiscated this dude's phone. I mean, took his damn phone from him.
Yeah.
And with all his information, contacts, everything like that, seized it. U.S. citizen, pretty incredible stuff there. But yeah, I don't, and you left Fox a little bit later than I did after Tucker I left Fox after the call on Arizona in the 2020 election. Okay. 2 minutes after the polls closed.
Yeah.
So I have to, I just knew then that, yeah. So I'm with you.
What's that, a timeout?
Timing out.
Well, this Joseph Gonzalez, who is this guy? He goes, read my comment. And he keeps on writing over and over again, do I wear cargo shorts?
It makes
I don't
no
know who
sense.
he
Booty.
is. I don't have mod powers.
You don't have mod powers. What?
No, sir.
Hang on. Let me get you more mod powers.
But
I
if
like
you must
that.
know, Joseph, wear the cargo shorts, bro, and a pair of flip-flops. You'll be A-okay.
How can I give you mod powers like real quick? Let me see. I'm pushing stuff. There we go. I got it. There you go. Type something in. Make sure it works.
All right. Let me see here.
In the meantime, have you guys seen Skinwalker Ranch?
Yes,
I'm
I started
enthralled.
watching it. I think it was last weekend.
Yeah, I am so enthralled with this. And the new season just came out too. There's something buried in the mesa. And there's there's something above the triangle area. They shoot rockets up into it and everything, trying to figure out, and it's all messing with the GPS signals of the helicopters and whatnot. It's like a Bermuda Triangle, really. Have you guys seen that? So UAPs, UFOs.
UFOs, and then of course the submersible ones.
Yeah. What do you got on that? Anything?
Well, there's a lot on that. On UFOs themselves, there's been documentation going back as far as, at least for our country, as far back as record of the time where George Washington was fighting in the Revolutionary War, and there's been lore about UFOs during the time periods of a lot of ancient societies like Egypt, the Aztec, the Mayan, the Olmec. So we're not just the only ones. Our ancestors actually have seen some of the same things as we're seeing.
I think they need more scientists on that show.
Yes, but you see, then that it's finding a scientist that's willing to jump down the rabbit hole.
Well, you got Travis Taylor, who was on the government secret, UFO board. He was the scientific board
at the
member.
Same time, he can only say so much. He can be on the show all he wants, but he can't cross certain lines because he worked for the government.
I mean, they actually had the government inspecting or doing investigations in this area because there's something not right about this area.
Here's another example of crazy shit.
There's electricity in the ground, and they hooked up wires.
But besides that, the reason why things disappear in the Bermuda Triangle and why compasses go haywire and shit like that, saying that the magnetism in that area is the craziest it can be on the planet. People are saying that's probably where Atlantis really is, if it exists. And they have something there that disrupts magnets and shit like that.
Yeah.
But then again, it's something that we're never going to be told. Nobody ventures out that way because of the dangers it causes.
Do we really want to know? I mean, that's kind of a good question, right?
Yeah. And there's some speculation that there's some sort of wormhole in the Bermuda Triangle that takes you to a different
well, that's
dimension.
what Travis Taylor was saying, that they did some kind of spectral analysis thing to where it looked like it was coning up like this right above the triangle. Not the Bermuda Triangle, but the one on Skinwalker Ranch. And then there's something going underground as well. And he thinks it might actually be a wormhole. All right, Rich, we'll see you later, buddy. So, yeah, interesting stuff. And I mean, it sounds a little, to us older people, it's like, oh, yeah, life on other planets and all that. We've had this discussion for years, but the actual scientific data that they are discovering now, it's compelling. It really makes you think.
Well, on the same spectrum of things, crazy stuff. How many years have you heard scientists trying to tell us, no, humanity never lived side by side with dinosaurs, this, that, and the other, and then coming up short that there were certain species of dinosaurs that lived with humanity?
Yeah, well, the
Yes.
Bible says they call them dragons in the Bible.
Yes, but here's a crazier thing on top of that. I was watching something last night. It's like, okay, back in the day when our ancestors, found these things, we didn't call them dinosaurs back then.
Right.
they call them dragons bodies, but at the same time, how do you have physical depictions of what these things look like?
And there's like
Because-
petroglyphs and stuff like that
Yeah,
actually
there
show
is. There's
fighting.
been ancient Sumerian carvings that have found, things that look like stegosauruses, velociraptors, and shit like that. So it's like,
I don't think the dinosaurs and the unicorns made it on board the ark. That's all I'm gonna say. Can you imagine the plant life and stuff that existed before that flood? It kind of proves.
Let me explain something to you. Unicorns still exist today, all right? They just live in the water. They're narwhals, all right?
And they vote Democrat. Tic Tac video. Navy pilots, man, that's credible sources.
Yeah. There's been a lot of service members in general, regardless of branch, that after their service or them reaching the end of their lives, that are like, you know what's the government gonna do to me at this point if I come out and say what they told me not to say?
Yeah.
And go, okay, so.
Well, they were a
what
little
happened
bit more
was-
worried about it back in the day. That was just crazy talk, right? They didn't want to get
Well,
their
it wasn't
pilot's
exactly
license
just
pulled
crazy talk. It
because
was
they thought they were
silenced
crazy.
by.
Nowadays, it's a little more credible. So now I think the society is actually ready because they've been desensitized by all the Hollywood movies about aliens and stuff like that. All the things that were going on, and then the government finally comes out and says, "Yeah, there's aliens," and they were like, "Yeah, okay."
It's like
That got
one
no
British guy
coverage.
said.
Hardly.
It's like that one British guy said when the government decided to declassify more information about aliens and shit like that. Say yes, that we've been in contact with them and stuff like that. Why we didn't lose our minds when they told us was because we're worried about more real world problems than being finally told the truth that yes, extraterrestrial life exists. We're dealing with more stressful things that are going with our lives. Accessible housing.
There's a purple
is
unicorn.
I kind of wonder how, Trump created the fifth branch of the military, Space Force, okay? And I'm kind of wondering how this whole Space Force thing is going to tie in. There's something behind. Trump doesn't just do anything for no reason at all.
No.
And I don't know, man.
I'll be
Because
100%
what have you really heard about Space Force since Biden has been in office?
Nothing.
Nothing. Zero.
And
Not a
here's the
peep.
big reason why. Because, yes, Trump had a thought process of why he made Space Force. But once he left office, it got put on the back burner. It's still a branch of the military underneath that, guys. But when you look at everything,
I think he's talking about the dome. In terms of what Israel has, I think he wants to. He's already made it in some of his campaign speeches already at his rallies, talking about getting a dome to protect the United States. I think it might tie into that. What do you think on that?
I'll believe that kind of stuff when I see it. Right now, it's more like the reason we have a Space Force, from the information that's been told to me of what Space Force actually does as of right now, is
It doesn't have much to do with
You know
space.
that all this dome stuff. I mean, this is our technology. You know what I'm saying? This is that the Israelis used to pretty much knock out all of those missiles. Okay, except for maybe one or something that got through out of hundreds. It's pretty effective, but I know we worked together with Israel on this, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't do it on their own.
Right.
But just think if they had not had that dome of protection, what we would be looking at today.
Yeah. Last topic is UN helmet hoax. So
I'll say this right
every
now,
5 to
put it-
10 years they come. As a Gen Xer, I can see the changes in America and the thought process, and the invention of the internet changed everything, and everything's changed. So, when I was a kid, you didn't have a camera on your phone. It was attached to the wall, and you had a rotary dial. You know what I mean? And there was no remote control for the TV. The remote control was me. Hey, Timmy, come in here and change the channel. I had to go in there and change. We had like 5 channels. Click. Oh, hang on right there. Nah, change it. Click. Yeah, you can leave it there. And then I went back in my room to play. Okay.
I think 3,
The
6,
invention-
3, 6, and 10, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we got them. Yeah.
So Gen X, I mean, we've seen the changes from the boomer to what we were in the 90s, 80s, 90s, right? And then to today. And man, it's been like 30 years since, you know what I mean?
So I think
Everybody's got a camera. So they're all collecting data and they're putting it on the internet. There's shit on the internet that we have never seen before. It's like, what's going on?
The big thing with
Ghosts?
the blue helmet thing,
UFOs?
it's a scare tactic to try to scare the younger generations that have no intelligence whatsoever when it comes to rules of engagement, especially on the home turf. If any foreign nation were to step foot on this country, they will be eliminated to
Us older
nothing.
people, Snake Eyes, us older guys, okay? We've grown up to where if you talked about that stuff, you were nuts. You're crazy. It's, quit talking about that stuff. Everybody's going to think you're a weirdo.
yeah. my
Okay.
thing is,
And now the
younger than
technology
both
is
of you
there for
guys,
us that we can actually see these type videos, but in the same breath, there's technology to fake these videos. So you can't believe it, but it's out there and you can see it.
Yes. At the same time, it's
You
like,
see
like
where
I
I'm
said,
going
it's a
with
scare.
this?
It's a scare tactic for the younger generation, the stupid ones, the younger millennials, and to the Gen Z guys. I'm an older millennial, so to me, it's like I was raised by Gen X. All right.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with these people trying to spout out that the UN is going to be invading this country and putting martial law into effect is, okay, I want you to try doing this in two states to start with. All right.
Okay.
That's either the state of Florida or the state of Texas.
Okay.
And here's why. State of Texas, they have the open and concealed carry laws that are, you can do it, whatever. In the state of Florida, you try putting this state into a state of emergency. The state of Florida, there's 3 ways you can legally open carry in this state. Number 1 is when you're fishing, camping, or even I have thank you. Fishing, camping are 2 of the legal ways of doing it here in the state of Florida. Now, the third one is during a state of emergency, whether it's a hurricane or a state of emergency that's induced by whatever craziness is happening in the state. So once that happens in the state of Florida, once we get put into that state of emergency, they're going to be like, all right, guys, have at it. Protect yours. Protect your neighbor.
So what you're
There's a
saying
reason
is,
that the state of Florida still, to this day, acknowledges the lines for its state. Our motto is "In God We Trust," and that is for a reason.
yeah. So being a guardsman, you're about to go back active. Is that right?
Me, I am active reserves.
Okay. So you understand probably the rules better than I do. If UN troops were to come in, which is against the law in our government, no? Who could say that? Does the president have the power to say, yeah, go ahead and bring them in? No, because we have guardsmen for that reason, and there's no reason to, right?
But since the House will be behind them in doing so, but you want a real insurrection to happen, let UN troops hit the fucking floor, because then the American people will talk.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem, though. You've got this hoax going on out there and some people get their news from TikTok.
Yes.
And they're saying that
The big
UN
thing
troops
is
are, and then you
UN
got these rednecks coming out saying that they're going to line their walls with UN blue helmets, like light blue helmets, if they come into
You see,
my
the biggest thing
country,
is the
blah,
UN,
blah, blah, blah,
the
right?
UN's biggest funding is by the United States. You really think they're going to put at risk their funding by stepping foot here, knowing that most American civilians own their own firearms?
Anyway, Yet I digress. Vet
Well,
6, how are you, sir?
Here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. Okay, everybody's going to get a great education on the Constitution. You know, and they already have. Everybody's been going through a lot of education here over the years. Okay, on how a lot of things operate and work, but even more so, we're going to be learning some things about the Constitution. We're also going to be learning about the Second Amendment. Why was the Second Amendment put in place? Okay. You know, and the reasons behind that. There are a lot of people that don't even know it was there for the people to protect against a tyrannical government. Okay, that was the purpose. Okay, right there it is. Boom, in a nutshell. And they never discussed type of guns or anything like that, right? I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that.
There wasn't a reason why. Say pew-pews.
Yeah.
There's a reason why that it's not discreet, especially when people try attacking the Second Amendment, saying it wasn't meant for AR-15s or stuff like this. It was very, very bland of an explanation for the Second Amendment because they knew at some point or another, if the country were to continue and go on as a country, that weapon systems would evolve along with those times. That's why it's not discrete whether it's a musket or if it's a musketoon, a cannon, or nothing like that. Just for the mere reason, weapons evolve all the freaking time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was to protect.
Since when was your First Amendment rights TikTok? Since when was it stuff like that? Things evolved. They knew we were going to evolve.
Yes.
Yeah, but if we want to talk about the blue hats, this whole thing of Gen X and just sort of stand up and fix the world. Come on now. People just post this shit for clout. They're posting for posting. Hey, I'm going to be a badass today. I'm going to make a TikTok.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the topic is UN helmet hoax. And as far as like my generation, every 5 to 10 years, we have this same hoax come out that the UN troops, back when Obama and the Ebola scare and everything, they were talking about bringing in the UN troops to help out or something. It just, you know what I mean? That's like yesterday for me, with my mind.
You see, the funny thing
now
is,
it's here again.
Especially those crazy people that are saying, oh, they're going to quarantine us once they set boot on the ground, and they're going to invoke martial law. But you see, since they are not an American military force, no foreign nation can invoke martial law in our country.
Right.
Behind every blade of grass. Behind every blade of friggin' grass.
And that's why we don't get attacked by foreign nations, right?
Yeah, and here's the deal, right? Like my body's jacked after years of being in the army and doing all that crap. However, they make something called ibuprofen and HGH.
Motrin.
Yeah, give me. I'll put out fresh socks. I'll get my Motrin and drink water.
That's
And
it.
change your socks. Most importantly, you got to change your socks.
That's why I
That's
say
it.
change my socks.
It reminds me of that song by Toby Keith. I'm not as good as I used to be, but I'm as good once as I've ever been, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I have in my vehicle there is a spot for an active pure alert. Just think, you never know. Hey, but the problem is you have one set of people who like, okay, we know some stuff, and then the other side is getting so hyped up, and it's like, yo, no, like, sit down. I'm not saying because I'm a vet. I'm just saying, look, we don't want this. Like, we don't want to make the grass grow. That's not what I think generally people want. But this whole hyping thing, and yeah, some people will do it for clout, blah 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 blah. But at a certain point, there are people who treat this app as real life.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. And like I said, I tell people on my other channel, I say, you know, don't let movies be your doctrine for your religious beliefs. You know what I mean? Go straight to the source, go straight to the Bible and read it. You know what I mean? Same thing on here. Don't get your news from TikTok. And if you do hear something on TikTok that perks your ears up, Google it.
And even Google, you Google anything, you can find statistics that have been manipulated to fit your narrative.
Exactly. So who do we believe, Vet 6? Who do we believe, man? What's the truth, brother? How do we find out the truth?
We can't. You can just live the only truth is in the eyes in your head. You can only see what you see. Like I've had multiple conversations.
Tom says the experts.
Like,
who's the experts?
The experts? There are no experts. Like the waters have been so muddied that I just say, you know what? I live my life. I walk out this morning, went to church. Got out of church because of my being an Orthodox. I have to fast from Saturday till after. I see families breaking bread. I see all these wonderful things of people coming together. But because TikTok and media want to pay us against each other so far, so for eyes, clicks, and views, trust your eyes. Trust yourself, not what the person on the phone says. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you've got to watch what you're looking at. We are what we put in front of us. You know, that's who we become. That's what we start to think is what is in front of us, and we hardly even question or cross-reference because we're freaking lazy.
Oh, for sure. Especially this one up here.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just fucking with you, bro. Come on, man. Hey, by the way.
No, Tom, we're not in a firmament.
Then you look at NASA. I don't know, bro. But it's just this whole division crap.
I really like this panel. I would really like for this panel to continue. Guys, I appreciate you being here.
Bro.
Much love.
Yeah,
how they do?
I mean, you know, I miss. Oh God, separate dad life. Jesus, I miss morning the big old cup of Joe thing in the morning.
We're his replacement, so
I'll have to pick me up a cup, man.
Yes. I don't know.
You guys got it in your merch or no?
What's that? The cup?
Do you have like coffee? Does Sonny have coffee cups, or anybody have coffee cups?
No, you know what? I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna make some big old cup of Joe freaking coffee cups, and I'm gonna put it for sale.
That'll play right into driving your promotion on the cups each and every time as you're bringing everybody together.
Well, we do have a new logo.
Get your own cup of Joe, man, right here.
Yeah.
Be with us, baby. Be with us.
I'm already working on another design for Denver.
This logo here was something that we were messing around with, but let me show you our new logo.
Hey, but
Just like a binder.
that shows this though, Denver.
Real quick, you have to caveat it with "Do not wash this out."
Oh yeah, you've got to have a seasoned.
Right, Navy?
You have to have a seasoned coffee cup.
Hey, sis.
I will say this though, Timber.
Yo.
I do want a shirt that has this logo on the back, but the front over the chest, it's the logo we decided with the eagle smoking the cigar. But I think having a shirt like with this being on the back of the shirt and the eagle
smoking the cigar on the front over the chest.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I think
For
would be
some
pretty
reason,
cool.
it only brings up certain pictures in my camera roll. And
But
that,
you have to tap it more than once. When you tap it the first time, it shows it's loading in.
yeah. So enhance background,
Enhance.
green screen, plus,
Yeah, and then you'll
And then
have like
what?
a roll, and then you hit on the plus sign,
Here we go.
and it'll bring up your camera roll.
yeah, but there's only certain
Look at
pictures on my
you
camera
with the-
roll.
With the,
All?
with the
I don't know how that happened.
invisible background. Yeah, you know.
No, I don't. Hey, Timber, have
There's
the
white
eagle
and
up.
gray checks.
You got it?
Yes, but there's
There it
when
is.
you
There
have
it
the
is.
checkered background.
Okay, yeah, that is our new logo.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we could put that on a coffee cup.
Hey, Salty. So is it bad that I got these? I can see everything like here. I get a text. It sucks.
Oh, you mean with the eyesight? Yeah, because I gotta constantly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laura just got glasses. She got
I saw it
went
too.
through the testing and all, and now she just kind of moves her eyes. You know what I mean? Up and down instead of
Yeah,
I'm like this all the time. You know, so
I'm not doing the progressive. Bro. Like, sorry.
I like this Kenneth guy in the chat here. I'm gonna add him. Tom, you're pretty cool. I'm gonna add you as well. Oh, 007's here. What's up, buddy? I just saw him in Missouri. Been doing a little traveling, you know. Tom, I already got you added.
Oh God.
Don't you love that when you go to add someone and you've already added them? I already got you.
Yes.
He says he had you for a while.
Like the helm. There's Tamara. Tamara, we're not ignoring you. I just have a hard time reading the chat because I can only read one line at a time. It's 11 a.m. here, and I just got up and made a cup of coffee to wash down my Motrin. Yes. All right. You know what I need, guys? Here's what I need. Let's commit to this group. What do you think, Vet 6? You in?
It's hard for me.
It's hard for you?
What times? Like what are
Every
we looking
Sunday
at?
at noon.
Should it be an issue? I usually get out of mass by 10,
Okay.
and then we go have breakfast afterwards.
Yeah.
So
Salty?
shouldn't it be a huge thing? So
Remember, this is
we have a good
noon
panel.
Eastern time, not Central or Western.
I'm West Coast, bro. I'm in California.
Oh, what time is it there now then?
10:13.
Oh, yeah, that'd be early for you, brother. Salty's up in Jersey. What do you think, Salty? You want to be a part of the panel, the permanent panel? I can have more than one co-host,
yeah,
right?
I'm in, man.
It's
And then Vet
This
6,
is
you
good
just join
stuff.
in when you can, brother.
all right, bro. Like it is kind of hit and miss. Like just
Yeah, because this podcast is basically what got the whole Paladin Network started, okay? This is the flagship.
yeah.
This is the
Yeah,
flagship
where's Scooter,
podcast.
by the way?
What's that?
Where's Scooter? Where's Scooter?
You know, Scooter is more
I'm just-
business side of Paladins.
Okay.
He's not one to get behind or get in front of the camera.
Oh, he's behind the scenes.
He's behind the scenes, much as the same as 0707 there in the chat. He's kind of our tech guy, you know. He's CEO.
Who? Who?
0707. He's in the chat.
Yeah, you just that guy. Good. Yeah.
Casey, say hi, buddy, so they can add you.
I'm a network engineer in healthcare. I don't want to do.
Yeah, he did.
Crap.
Yeah, there he is. He says, "I'm a
Y'all
ghost."
familiar with the 13-month calendar? I've heard of the 13-month calendar. It was the calendar before we had the Gregorian calendar.
Okay, here's the CEO of Paladins Roundtable.
We don't have titles. We're round table.
We don't have titles.
The titles should be.
No
going
one
off
sits
the
at the head of the table. It's a round table, but
It's
I
all
tell you,
round.
No,
he's bringing a
there's
lot
one
to the
person that
table. I
sits
tell
at
you
the
that
round
much.
table's head, and
He's-
I've explained this to you. He's up there.
Who?
Guy up there. He sits at the head of the round table.
That's it. Exactly. What's up, Casey?
Well,
Hey there, big boy.
so hey, you'll love this. Network core upgrades last night, and half my shit ain't pinging.
Why? Because it's Sunday, or
I'm
it's
about
the
to
day that ends in
find
Y.
Yeah, I'm about to find out. I mean, technically, I'm not really supposed to be working because so, but it would behoove me to walk into work and under.
Do you work in a knock, or
Why are half my subnets not available?
Hello, TMFB. What do we call you,
Yeah,
Vito?
bro.
I'll add you. Already got you added. See?
Vito? Do you work for one of the big healthcare IT, or
All right.
do you
So
work for
how
one
do I
of the
get
like
that up?
healthcare? What's it?
How do I get that up?
Oh wait, you gotta click the ghost.
No, that's
I don't even know how it happened. I know I went and
Background.
clicked the image on green screen.
that's the background.
Green
Host screen looks
no.
way different.
It's not the green screen, is it?
It's one of the green screens.
One
It's
of
like
the
the
green
ghost
screens.
green screen.
Okay. Not seeing that.
Yeah, I work for one of those big, huge conglomerate
On
healthcare organizations in California. If you know, you know.
which
Background.
no, but
Are you in
I
Cali?
worked in healthcare IT before.
Yeah,
Are they
it's,
public or private?
Kilo
Oh, okay.
Papa.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you worked on the like EMR side, or if you worked for.
No, I don't work. I'm not
I was.
Epic, dude. Oh,
Did 5 years.
God bless you. But downtime. The nurses.
Quarterly upgrade.
Hey, Timber, if you want to see sunshine,
Epic's not bad,
concrete,
bro.
just come back down to Florida, brother.
Right. I would
You
love
hang
to.
out at that one leather shop there in Old St. Augustine.
That place was pretty cool, man. That dude was a veteran, and we talked for a long time. Guy down in St. Augustine walked into this leather shop. He had like all kinds of good stuff in there, and the smell. Oh, you ever walk into a good leather shop and it's like putting your face in a baseball mitt. Love that smell.
Oh, yeah. I love that smell. Especially you get like when you wrapped it up with all that stuff with the to break it in and the oils and all, and then or a brand new pair of sneakers.
It's like biting into a Slim Jim.
No, I know what you guys do and why it's so fascinating with the Slim Jim. Just remember, Fishers lead the way.
No.
That's not real meat. It can't be.
Rangers lead the way. Infantry follow me, and you guys, you just call for the big boom boom.
Rangers lead the way. That reminds me of
Yeah,
action figure therapy.
I didn't want to get your live
Oh, yeah.
flag for illicit substances on a stick.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
On a stick.
Nicotine.
On a stick.
Smoking weed on a stick?
Yeah, just remember, Snake Eyes. I can make a grid square go away with my
That might be the case there, Vet 6, you cue ball looking ass motherfucker.
Sill's back.
Jesus Christ, my vision is that bad. I called
I
you
don't
Vito.
care. It happens, bro. I get it all the time, dude. I don't care. It's like it's so funny. People, hey Vito, I'm like
Salty's
Okay.
getting attacked by his
at
dog.
a certain point, and like at a certain point, I've been called like at a certain point, I responded to a-hole. Hey, you. Hey, high speed.
He does also respond to cue ball because he looks like a cue ball.
Salty's showing everybody his dog's junk.
Matches the drapes.
These,
You need to get some new jokes, bro. Come on.
yeah, these doxies, they're little porn stars, man.
Woo!
Yeah. Hey, so.
Those big old Great Danes with balls hanging, those guys should wear underwear. There should be a law. Dogs shouldn't have bigger balls than me. So what do you think, Vet Six?
Shit, man.
You weren't here when we were talking about stuff. Let me go over the topics of discussion. What do you think? See if you got any comments. So we had the Memorial Day weekend food talk. The price of meat. A big brisket is like $80, 10 pounds.
Okay.
That's outrageous. Prime rib roast, 8 pounds, $60. 2 pound, no baby briskets, 2 pounds, $20 to $25. And then we talked about
Y'all fancy.
the difference between people
Where-
who on. What's up? You have input on that one?
Fancy.
Fancy?
I-
Oh, you
hot
just
dogs
doing
and-
burgers
hot
and
dogs and
dogs like
hamburgers.
Salty?
Yeah, I just do. I mean, I can cook my ass off before it comes down to it. There's nothing better than a good hamburger or a blistered hot dog, right? I'm old fashioned like that. I'm not like. Don't get me wrong. I love me some brisket. I love me some ribs. I love me some prime rib roast.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'd rather sit and chill out with the family and talk and have easy food than eat. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's just me, though.
So it's more about the visiting and socializing for you on Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
talked.
everything's a grip too when it comes to meat.
We also talked about the difference between actors and musicians, whether they're left or right. And one thing I wanted to bring up that I wasn't able
Actors
to.
and musicians.
Yeah. What about Taylor Swift going to the dark side, guys? Have you seen that?
I don't give a shit.
There's like
I don't care.
satanic stuff in her show, and my
It is.
niece is just 5, and she loves her.
Like I fully believe half these people, half those people, they talk out of their 4 points of contact. And I want to say this to appease the masses and make me look a certain way. When it comes down to it, they either don't vote or they don't vote the way they act, if you know what I mean.
It's more than a vote, though. It's influencing people to vote that way. I'm going to vote for the blue because Taylor Swift said so. You know how many Swifties there are in America? Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Know nothing about
in my
politics,
opinion.
but because Taylor did it, right? And then Charlemagne the God was on The View, and they were trying to push him towards back in the blue. And he's like, I did that last time, and I don't know. I don't think it's worked out.
It's all about eyes, because what comes with eyes? Advertising money, in my opinion.
Well, it's not just that. It's to stay relevant and stay in their position and get the kickbacks from whoever is going for office. For you to stay relevant, you have to choose a side, and that's a lot of the hypocrisy part right now. You could be 100% against what that person's saying, but they're paying you money to spout their bullshit.
But I will caveat this. Joe Biden did hand walk the PACT Act. through Congress for approval. I will say that. Even though I'm not
But
much
who was
of a
the
fan,
one that started the steps for the PAC back bill?
us, James, and the group of people he rolls with. But there's okay, so I am conservative, but this country works best when we're like this and looking at different viewpoints and coming to an understanding than this bullshit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there though that feel that they're just not listening.
That-
There's some people on the right
well,
that
they're
think that
also
the left just don't play by the rules, that they think whoever screams the loudest wins, no matter what is said.
Oh yeah. Oh, as somebody who used to, I debate in high school, did still dabbles in it. I don't like the blood sport debate stuff, but however, the whole point of a debate when we have conversations is you go into it. You're not trying to convince the other person of your point of view. You're trying to articulate yourself so that people who are watching can make an informative decision on what they talked about. If you've ever seen formal debates, it's what we're talking about. Point, counterpoint, counterpoint, then discussion. Not just yelling at each other at the top of our lungs. You know what I mean?
Speaking of debate, I think, what do you think they're giving Joe Biden? A bunch of Red Bulls during a debate?
No, there's a stand-in for him. He's wearing one of those Super Duty freaking masks to pretend that they're Joe Schmo.
I think
That's a theory. You got to admit, that guy's a little different than in a debate
What do we give our
versus.
pilots now?
What's that?
What do we give our pilots now for night flights? Do we still give them amphetamine?
Stim? I don't know.
What?
Yes,
No.
maybe.
Well, I was gonna say,
Another-
no, it's like a core something, whatever that is.
I don't know, sir.
it's very similar to Adderall. It's very similar to
That's why
Adderall.
I was saying that.
Getting back to the topic, though,
Yeah. So
the difference
Hey,
between.
but you know, when we're talking debates, man, I really think we need more of a Lincoln Douglas type debate. To be honest with you,
yes,
let them go at it in a respectful way. But what do you got in 2 minutes to kind of make your point? Okay, you have 1 minute, Jim. Okay, and then of course all the questions are coming more leaning type questions. The moderators control where they're going to put the focus or not put the focus. So
They're going to
it's,
cut Trump off.
I say Lincoln Douglas debate, man. That's what I'm looking at, and who can stand up.
well, that's more theology.
Yeah, Emma.
Yeah. No,
Let's get in there.
land the freaking plane, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you have these people who go on these diatribes for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. It's just like, land the plane. If you cannot articulate your points within 2 or 3 minutes, stop it.
Agreed.
Okay. Sorry, Tim, we're back to the topic.
Yeah, definitely. Be respectful of they're going to cut him off. They're going to cut Trump off. Probably every time he opens his mouth.
The biggest issue with modern debate.
They already have the rules. They already have the rules established in the debates. Okay, and Trump agreed to them. But there's some pretty strict things that are in major line of protecting Biden from having to really deal with any type of
But
engagement.
The big issue, there should be no handicaps in a debate. It should be all out. And if your guy cannot do an all out debate without getting scrutinized and being able to defend himself from being scrutinized, then maybe he should not be in the office that he holds.
But then how do we hold those people accountable?
You mean
when they
blood
don't listen
sport
to the
debate?
How you hold them accountable? There will be rules. Don't get me wrong.
Fire God,
They
what's
will
up,
have those
buddy?
boundaries.
when one person oversteps and they don't actually adhere to the rules in which they've agreed.
Then that person should be get ejected like any other fucking thing.
Right, but then if they do get ejected, then It's like
Hold on a second.
football.
You don't.
Hold on, guys.
You don't. Okay, so with debates, there is some tolerance in overstepping.
Absolutely.
Even ad homs can be part, and they can actually make the debates. Everyone always make, when you have ad hominems and all these stuff, it makes for a more fun, interesting debate. Like,
Right, but that's where that gray is.
yeah, there has to be gray area because we don't live in a strictly monochrome world.
Well, exactly, no. But you see, regardless of what people's views are, and people have to start realizing this, and I think this is where our country has been going into a hell in a handbasket, is our country was found on the premises of everybody being able to voice their opinion. And the basis of that is basically to make sure that regardless if we have different viewpoints, that we can still come together when it's important. And our country is so separated right now, it's not even funny, forgetting the basis of we can disagree, but we can still be friends at the end of the day, whether we agree with each other or
It
not.
should be that way. Yes.
Because people are concentrating too much on party over country and too much on that. Yes,
Tribalism.
too much on those identity politics where at the end of the day, we are still Americans.
And it's too much party over common sense.
Yeah.
If the left made a good point, give them credit for it, but it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
People focus too much on an argument instead of they respond.
Whoever yells the loudest wins.
They listen to respond instead of listen to understand.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. You cannot have an intelligent
What's up, Trey?
conversation with someone without taking the risk that somebody may say something that you might find offensive.
And sometimes
If we
silence is
tiptoe
golden.
around each other, shit does not get done.
Sometimes not saying a word speaks volumes.
Yes. So
You can give
sometimes
an
ignorance
eyebrow.
is some say ignorance is just lack of intelligence and lack of willing to open up to hearing others. But sometimes ignorant is bliss. Not knowing, not understanding doesn't mean you're ignorant.
Yeah.
It means you're not informed. But at the same time, that uninformed person that's open-minded will be willing to hear both sides of a conversation before they make a decision.
Yes, professionalism helps. Absolutely, Taylor. All right, so
But what it
getting
really
back
boils
to
down
the
to, what it boils down to in the end.
Final
okay,
remarks.
In my view, okay, it's in what you do. Okay, I'll throw you one of my little things. Okay, what you do speaks so loudly that what you say I cannot hear, and no matter what they're saying in the debate, okay, it's you have to look beyond even that. Are you going to really make a decision, especially in the times we're in now, over a debate, or basically on what you've seen from this point on? I mean, a debate is almost to a point of we just want to watch it just for entertainment purposes at this point.
See, it's like you say,
I wasn't sure if you heard me packing. That's why I'm muted.
All right, getting back to the list of topics here. All right, so we're talking Hollywood Vet 6. Gary Sinise, which played Lieutenant Dan on Forrest Gump, versus like P. Diddy. Left, right, the difference between the two, and we can even throw some more in there. Snake Eyes, who was the guy that we were talking about? The Star Lord.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, stands up, says there is a God. Thanks, everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he also, to stay relevant on the platforms he's on, he's willing to say just about anything. You see, those who have to take video of the good that they're doing, normally there's a problem there. With Gary Sinise, the only reason you see videos of what he does is so people can donate, so he can still be able to help.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But we do that too, bro.
The left shouldn't, the right hand shouldn't know what the left hand's doing. That's in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
there's a difference.
I'm backing you up now.
With Chris Pratt, when he's pushing out him saying that there is a God and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's him being real. That's him being himself.
Yeah, it's him
It's the
not
way he was
taking
brought
credit
up.
for his success. Athletes do this too. And now it's starting to be shut down, and people are like, coming out and saying, I'd like to thank me.
Yeah.
I did this.
Conor McGregor?
You know? Okay. Let's see who's rolling. Are you out? All right, brother. Yeah, we're just recapping
Hey,
anyway.
appreciate you guys, man. Bet 6, happy Memorial Day. 777, Snake Guys, Timber, man. Appreciate you guys. Love y'all.
See you next
Everybody in
week.
the panel.
Bro.
Yeah, man. We'll see you soon, man.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Later, guys.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, there's a lot of what's it called? Not grandstanding. Oh, jeez.
Self-aggrandizing?
No, virtue signaling.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
A lot of us,
Have fun loving.
especially with tomorrow, we post a lot of stuff. There's
All right, Chick.
people who post because it's their time. In my mind, I do stuff that I don't post, and ultimately, I see a lot of stuff. Would you really post that if it wasn't? Would you do the deed if it wasn't being recorded and you were going to get credit for it?
I get that. Now, the Bible tells us, the left hand shouldn't know what the right hand is doing. That means do good things and don't boast about it. And this is just an analogy. I'm not getting religious or nothing. I'm just giving this analogy. When the Pharisees would fast, they would contort their face to let everybody know I'm fasting. Everybody look, I'm holy because I'm fasting. And they would let everybody know that, right? All right. If you receive praise for that, that's all you're going to get. Okay. It won't go up there. Now, that being said, back in my day when we were skateboarders and BMXers and we were flipping our bikes around and hopping on them and doing all this stuff, right? The freestyling stuff. If you did that in front of a camera, knowingly, you were called a poser. And to be in that community and be called a poser was a major diss. Good afternoon type diss, right? And but if you happen to be doing a trick and it just so happened to get caught on camera, that's not your fault. Then you're good to go, right? You got all these skateboarders doing all these tricks and setting up these, cameras and stuff.
But to
That's
build
a
off of
poser.
that, though, Timber, these days it's if there's no footage, it didn't happen kind of mentality going on out there.
Well, that's from the movie, Step into Liquid, the Surfers, or The North Shore is a great movie. Okay. That you had this soul surfers that on their longboards that were out there just for the fun of surfing and enjoying each other's company and stuff. That, no cameras, no nothing, live in the moment. Okay. Versus the guys that were shredding, trying to catch that tube and get it on camera and get a sponsor and all.
Bro,
Where would you rather live?
Living.
What has
It's
more
called
pressure
living.
and stress?
It's called living
I'm just
in
saying.
a secular, hedonistic society that values money over morals.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get old, whatever, but it's like people want the maximum reward for the most minimal of effort.
Absolutely. We're not experiencing life like it's meant to be experienced, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
don't do what I do with an expectation of going viral.
Right.
It's like You know, and there's posting for awareness, and a lot of people do good stuff. I mean, whenever So posts, I'm tagged. I mean, I wake up to notifications for forever, right? I'm always so appreciative of that.
Sure.
But you have a lot of other, you know, it's. Let me go hand this homeless person some money or whatever. Why do you gotta record it, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you embarrassing the person you're handing the money to? Maybe they feel embarrassed. Maybe they don't want to be on camera, but they're not going to say stuff because they're hurting and they're hungry or they're, you know, whatever. Or heaven forbid, if I hand somebody $20 and if they happen to use it for a bottle of MD 2020 to help them get through the night, hey, whatever.
I had to praise a coworker when I was in the post office. He was a Marine, and on his way to work, one of his neighbors had, I can't remember, he had fell and broke his leg or something, but it required like it was like sticking out. The bone was sticking out or something. So the Marine took his belt off,
Holy shit.
did a tourniquet on his leg so he wouldn't bleed out, wrote a T on his forehead in blood to let those guys know, you know, the paramedics, the EMS come in, that he had a tourniquet. That's the way we were trained. Okay.
That's the way we're
He
trained.
did that and didn't stick around for the fanfare. He didn't do it for the, you know, the news. Hey, this guy's a local hero. He saved this man's life and all that. No, he came to work. He did that, and then he came to work.
I'm sorry, I gotta drop. One of my dogs brought in a toad, and I need to help out.
All right, buddy. We're gonna wrap this up anyway. I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
A lot of good input from you, sir. Thank you.
Meet you, Pet Six.
Later,
Good
bro.
to see you again, Snake Eyes, and of course, good to see you again too, Timber.
Yep.
Take care.
You're welcome on the panel anytime.
He's a good dude.
He's an excellent dude. You know what his backstory is? He was in the Naval Academy. He was a midshipman. And like, I don't know if it happened right before or right after graduation, but it was a medical thing where he couldn't serve and couldn't continue as an officer in the Navy. So he did attain the rank of ensign. So he completed the training and everything, but I think he's got like some wires and stuff in his back with a battery under his skin, like in here or something. He's got a remote control. He's a robot.
He's still part of the family, though.
Oh,
It's not his
absolutely,
fault.
absolutely.
Yep, he did this.
But he didn't just lay and waller in his own self-pity. He went out and started studying about AI. Pretty lucrative business right about now. So
Look, this is my input on AI, and I will die on this hill. Skynet. If we have to learn anything from fucking movies, you don't fuck with
God, I
AI.
know you were gonna go there.
AI will terminate all of us, all right? Skynet. Fucking Skynet.
yeah. And Elon
That's
Musk
why I
talks
told
about
people,
it.
Don't go into cybersecurity.
Yeah, Elon Musk talks about it
Don't
in a
go into
negative light as well,
cybersecurity.
AI. But he's got robots going with AI.
There's there's automations, right? That we use AI at work. We use a lot, and that's why I tell people don't go into cybersecurity. There's a reason there's so many openings is everyone's getting out. It's because threat detection and stuff like that is being handled by AI. When you combine, I don't like one of the things we worked on is the integration of something called Google Glass. I can't really talk about it too much.
All right.
It's
Secret
a
squirrel
physician
stuff.
would look through a pair of glasses and can see with a fracture, like your body with a compound fracture.
All right.
He can look at trauma CAD, and as he's looking at the patient to determine from the X-ray, it's pretty neat. However, AI is not as advanced as everyone really wants to give it credit. once we see high usage, like very detailed, that's when it's like, okay, hold on. However, we see a lot in fast food because that $20 an hour wage kick, you're going to see a lot more AI being introduced.
Well, that's why a lot of fast food places, if you haven't noticed, Vet 6, McDonald's has it, Taco Bell has it now. I haven't seen them in Wendy's yet, having those kiosks, because they're not going to have anybody at the front counter anymore taking orders. It's because the wage has to go up, that these billion-dollar companies are like, you know what? We don't want to give you hours now. A computer can do your job. Congratulations.
Well, here's the deal. Typically in society, you're paid your market value. What you bring into the market is what you typically. Not all. I kind of. Here's my thing. Okay, so state of California, the average pay for people who work in the fast food industry jumped to $20. So their skill level stayed here. I'm not trying to talk bad, but there's a skill here. Their money went up. My skill is here. My money stayed flat.
Right.
No, but also to caveat it, I have medical benefits. I have a pension, and I don't know. There is something to be said there as well. Maybe I shouldn't, just completely conviction moan about it. But there is something to be said that AI integrated with the intent of human interface is good. The replacement of human interface is bad, in my opinion.
I don't think we should be afraid of technology. I think we should learn more about it.
We shouldn't fear technology, but when it comes to the point where technology itself can do the job in place of a human, we lose jobs for people that don't have.
I think a little bit differently. If I get replaced by a computer, my next job is going to be learning how to fix that computer.
I'll hook you up, bro.
If you get replaced by a robot, learn that robot's faults.
Yeah.
And learn how to fix it and get paid even more for that fixing that robot that's doing your old job.
Yeah, but at the same time, when it comes to simple jobs, robots should not run it, like a front counter at a restaurant. Fine. What happens when that machine shuts down, right?
I've placed my order at McDonald's.
And the company can't send a representative
got my card in, paid.
Then you don't have nobody that knows how to run the cash register anymore.
I'll make this real as hell. I don't like drones. I think we need to make war a video game. You lose the humanity side and how awful it is.
Yeah.
If you
desensitize us with video games.
Take out. Huh?
Desensitize us with video games.
Okay.
And if you're behind your comfortable screen and you push a button and somebody dies, it's like,
exactly. It takes the humanity out of it. And war is awful. Horrible. Combat is horrible. Terrible. And that's why I've never been a fan. As a 13 Fox, I could have gone over to a drone unit. We could have, but I'm like, because it is just something that feels wrong about that. And that's why I say, if it enhances the human experience, it's not supposed to.
Hey, Rob, welcome back.
It's kind of like those robots that infantry guys are now using for subterranean combat, which makes sense.
The rovers?
Yeah, the small little rovers with the big ass camera on their head. Sending them in before a soldier helps with, controlling casualties. If that robot's able to go in first, see everything around the room for the most part,
the OMB diffuser.
Fucking fire team can go in and clear that room faster and whatnot. So it's like you say, these things should be tools to enhance versus do the whole job by themselves. Because once that happens, it's like you said, it's like being behind the screen of a video game when you're piloting those massive, heavy-duty freaking Reaper drones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Sims.
oh snap! I took out that whole village. No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
that
and
way.
they don't see.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
I mean,
segue
it's-
into a new
it's-
topic. And it's going to have something to
Okay.
do with this conversation, though, okay? Do we think that there is people behind the throne, so to speak? Their face isn't in the
of course
public,
there
their
is.
name is unknown, but they are controlling things such as AI or, you know, we know who George Soros is
The
and all that
Illuminati?
stuff, but like, I'm talking about like
Illuminati.
powers behind the throne, secret society, secret squirrels type stuff that is desensitizing this new generation in order to accomplish a goal. And what is that goal? What do you think?
Are you talking about the Illuminati, bro?
Could be. I mean, that's one
No,
name for it, I guess.
Complete control without opposition is the plan. Once they can seek the whole control without opposition, it's a wrap.
There is a group just playing
I
chess with
think-
us. I think so too. I really do. And you
I
can't take
think
them out
there
because you can't
is-
see them and you don't know them. Follow the money.
Yeah, money. Yeah, good luck though with our tax codes, the way everything's maneuvered. But like, I definitely like I said, I try to. When I look at something, like, okay, why did this happen? Why are things like this? Why is it that most people, I'm not, you know, live paycheck to paycheck and they get exactly, you know, like that's always been like, is that rigged? You know, like our, I mean, we've all been there. I mean, I've been there, right? It's like, oh God, I need gas. I have $5, but that $5 happens to get me to work for me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
How is that like? It's always been kind of a weird thing. But you look at people like the Sources, the Clintons, all these big PAC contributors, and you want to know what's really going on.
Oh, you have the answer?
I mean, we know about KBR and we know about KBR and Rumsfeld.
Okay.
You know about that, right?
No.
You didn't know that Donald Rumsfeld was a board member of KBR?
No.
I'm not sure what
Do you know
KBR is.
do you know who KBR is?
No.
Kellogg Brown and Root. They were the major contractors doing OIF and OEF.
Those are a bunch of acronyms. I'm not that smart, man. Explain.
Okay, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation
Oh,
Enduring.
okay.
When we went over there,
Yeah.
and things were done.
Okay.
Kellogg Brown and Root was the primary contractor for food, services, all this stuff, right? That Donald Rumsfeld was part of.
Okay.
Who was the Secretary of Defense at the time. I'll
Uh,
send you some documents, bro.
who was? Cheney? No.
Huh?
I'm trying to remember. Who was Secretary of Defense?
Donald Rumsfeld.
Oh, okay. Man, that's some,
Yeah.
I'll put it this way. That's some Fauci shit
I'm
right there.
Googling the shit right now.
Did you hear me?
It's some Fauci shit.
Yeah.
It's some Fauci shit. Right? Like, hold on.
I'm going to have to Google that so I can find out the truth.
Come on now. But here's the deal. Everyone gives us crap. Like, oh, you want to, all this. But I think there were weapons WMDs. No, but let me tell you, when I saw the Kurds in the north, when I saw the depravity and poverty in Taji, Baghdad, all these other areas, and I saw the palatial gardens of Tikrit. Yeah, shit got justified real fucking quick. And knowing those Uday, Kusei, and Saddam are pushing daisies.
Yeah. I'm trying to see who's in here left. Jammer's hanging with us.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway,
Kenneth, good to see you.
I have to run.
All right, buddy.
I'm
Appreciate
gonna
you
run,
coming out.
guys. I'll be on later. I'll be on later, Timber. Snake Eyes. Hey, it's good to see everybody.
Later,
And
brother.
I gotta go.
You're always welcome.
Yep.
All right. Snake Eyes, you got anything else before we shut it down?
No, I think we're good, brother.
Did you think of any 3 to 5 random facts? You forgot.
I'll
didn't
be
you?
honest.
Forgot I
With
asked you that
everything going on
question.
at once,
Yeah.
my brain was in overdrive, so I couldn't really think.
Yeah.
But I could do some random facts, I guess.
Sure. Home surgeon, welcome.
You know,
Kenneth, have a good one.
bald eagles, when they're younger, they don't have all the white feathers on their head.
Okay.
They look like golden eagles when they're younger.
What do you guys think of our emblem, man? Our logo. Look at that. Cup of America. Cup of America right there. I love that emblem. That's a good logo. I want that on a t-shirt. Oh, wait. I already have that on the paladinsroundtable.com. You can go there. The link is in my bio. And you can get that logo on a RED, Remember Everyone Deployed t-shirt. It's a red t-shirt. We wear red on Friday for that reason, to remember everyone deployed. Also, if you're interested in my other channel, which is Wednesdays at noon Eastern Standard Time, it's The Word with Timber. We're reading the Bible. We're in the book of Matthew. And I have merch up on that same site. So I'm a teacher, not a preacher shirt. And my theme for that is like the Knights Templar. And so there's merch available there. Any last words, Snake Eyes, before we sign off?
Be good to yourselves. Have a safe freaking rest of your weekend. Respect the fact that Memorial Day is not that perception of barbecues and everything else. Remember every fallen troop member, whether they're Marine, Air Force, Army, Navy. It doesn't matter. We've lost a lot of brothers and sisters out there. Even before our time, it's a time to mourn and remember them all.
Couldn't have said it better myself, brother. Freedom is not free. Some gave the ultimate sacrifice. And tomorrow's the day to memorialize them and to remember them and to lift them up. You know, I'm not going to get offended if someone thanks me for my service on that day, but that day is not for me. That's Veterans Day. Memorial Day is for the fallen. So let's remember that. And we ain't got to be shitty about it and try to correct people like a Karen. Okay. But, yeah. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us here on the Big Old Cup of Joe. And we will see you next Sunday at noon. Timber out.
Snake Eyes out.